So I had a whole script prepared for this video, but I think I'm just gonna talk about other stuff. I wrote the script almost a week ago, and now that I'm shooting the video on Sunday, and it's crazy, but I almost feel like the content of the blog post slash script that I wrote, it almost feels irrelevant, even though it's been like 5 days. And when I wrote it, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's gonna be such an awesome YouTube video. But instead, today I sit down and I read it and I'm like, I don't know, this is not good anymore. I don't know. So I think I'm just going to talk about what I'm actually going through these days. So I decided to start a challenge and upload one YouTube video per week every Sunday, no questions asked. Even if it's unedited, even if the topic is just stupid, I'm just going to sit down, shoot a video, and upload it. I only have two things. Well, I have my iPhone. I have a tripod, a really horrible one that I bought from Amazon, and this microphone that is not horrible, actually. I think it's pretty okay. So, yeah, I'm basically going through a lot of things. Last year, I quit my job as a software engineer. I was working for Best Buy. Not exactly like a FANG company, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool that I got hired as a senior software engineer at Best Buy. It paid well, definitely more stable and chill compared to like Amazon and Meta and whatever. But that was kind of like the end of almost an 8 year journey for me. I studied computer science and I worked as a software engineer for 8 years. And I hated every minute of it. The only moments I enjoyed were maybe watching a successful demo of something that we've built. But the actual building of it, I hated every moment. So I basically tried to save up as much money as I could. So I saved up as much money as I could, and I waited until the end of 2023. I quit my job and bought a backpack and went to Thailand. It was a dream that I've had for a really long time, actually. So I visited Thailand back in 2016, and I was on like a maybe 9 day vacation. And I noticed that some of the some of the, let's say, like foreign people there, like the non locals, I noticed that some of them weren't just vacationing, some of them were living there. I remember seeing this middle aged European looking guy who was just going for a jog on the beach. And I'm just like there on my second or third day. And I'm like, does he live here? Oh my God, he lives here. He's so tan that there is no way he got this tan like in Europe. So I saw that and I'm not going to lie. I felt like a little bit jealous. I felt, I want that. Like, can this be me? So yeah, I was maybe in my mid 20s back then. I wasn't very established like career wise or financially. Also, so I'm originally from Egypt. So at that time, I only had my Egyptian passport. So it for you to really truly travel the world with an Egyptian passport. Uh, so I only had an Egyptian passport, and for you to truly backpack or travel with an Egyptian passport, not the worst thing in the world. There are worse passports, but it's worst 10 or something like that. So years later, I immigrated to Canada, and I am now a Canadian citizen with a Canadian passport. So once I had my passport, it's so ironic that as soon as I got my citizenship, I was like, time to get the fuck out of here. No, I love Canada, but I think it was approaching winter. I left in December, and just December in Canada, December, Jan, Feb, nah, just nah. Like, I love Canada again, but I love Canada for like 3 or 4 months a year of the summer. So yeah, so I packed up my stuff. I left in December, and honestly, I'm not gonna get into the details about my trip, but I had kind of like an invisible contract with myself that this year of finding myself, like hopefully by the end of it, I should know what career I want to pursue. It was just kind of an expectation I put on myself. I didn't exactly like sit down and write it in my diary, like, oh, all right, I have 12 months to figure things out. No, but I kind of just thought that, come on, a year? Like, you need more than a year to figure out your next move. Like that's come on, bro. So yeah, I have like a parent that lives inside my head that's kind of like, dude, come on, get your shit together. Even though my parents now are not as crazy as they used to be when I was a kid, like now they're pretty chill. Like if you just like quit your job and go be a bum at their place, they're like, oh great, we can hang out with you more. And I'm like, aren't you gonna like freak out? Okay, all right, I guess I could just hang out here for a bit. Anyway, so yeah, uh, I think around month 8, I started to get a little bit stressed out from just like the hopping. I probably went to like maybe 25 cities. I'm probably inflating that number. It's probably more like 18, but 25 sounds cooler. So whatever. I went to 25 places. And by month 8, I was starting to reach a point where I'm just craving like a little bit of stability. I don't want to have to keep figuring out where am I going to have breakfast every day, or where am I going to do my laundry, or oh my god, why are hotels so shitty in this place, or why are the hostels so expensive in this town, etc., etc. So at some point I just felt I want to just chill out for a bit. So I decided to go back to my home country, Egypt, to just stay with my family. And also at that point in time, I hadn't been to Egypt for like 6 years. So it was about time. So I went to Egypt and I spent a few months just kind of mulling over what do I want to do with my life now. I had ideas. There are a lot of maybe natural transitions from software engineering. Like if you were a software engineer and you just go like, "Hello, ChatGPT, I'm kind of done with this. What should I do next with my life? Please help me." It kind of says like a lot of basic stuff. You know, you could be a data analyst because that's hot right now, I guess. You know, yeah. It anyway. So yeah, so I thought about data analyst because years and years ago, they told us that I remember seeing an article that was really blowing up like maybe 10 years ago or 8 years ago that said data scientist voted as sexiest job of the year or something like that. And I started studying data science after hearing that. Imagine like being such a dork and a nerd that when you read something that says a job is sexy, you are like, I want it. I want that. I want to be sexy through my job. Anyway, it's funny because around the same time, almost all of my developer friends were actually thinking about switching to data science, and they started studying like visualization tools and some algorithms and some just data sciencey stuff. I don't even remember. And I started doing that. I started studying probability and statistics and Python and pandas and NumPy and all of that stuff. This is like 2016. Of course, life happened. Since then, I've moved 3 times countries. I've moved countries 3 times since 2016. This is aside from my 8 months of backpacking. So I moved from Egypt to Kuwait, from Kuwait to the Emirates, and from Emirates to Canada. So it's been a while, and when life is just happening like that, you kind of just hold on to your job, you try to make money, you try to save up, and really you fantasize about a career shift, but just putting the actual energy into bringing it to life, I couldn't do it. I always focused on like, okay, if I just barely landed a job in Canada and things are just sort of stable, maybe I just want to focus on making friends. Like I want to have a social life. Man, I've been trying to like get started with hobbies for years. Maybe now that I have some money, maybe I should like sign up for classes, or find some communities to, just explore myself and my hobbies. Explore myself. Does that sound weird? Yeah, and maybe explore myself too. Date, go out on more dates, meet more girls, just hang out, do stuff, live my life. So I kind of put this career shift thing on the back burner. It would like flare up every once in a while. I would like face a really annoying week where something is broken and I can't fix it. And I just straight up don't want to show up for work. I want to just show up and be like, this bug or whatever systemic problem in the code is not my problem anymore. I don't want to have to fix this. Just you deal with it. I would fantasize about that every day. And honestly, the more time passed, the smaller these problems got. By that I mean, initially I would get that level of frustration from like a really scary problem. But by the end of it, it's like if I'm having some CSS problem, which is like nothing, right? Like CSS is just weird and quirky, and every once in a while you encounter a problem and you just spend some time and you fix it eventually. By the end of it, like just any CSS stuff would make me freak out, and I'm just like, I quit internally. Internally, I'm like, I quit, man. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to have to like. It's been 8 years. I am so done with trying to like debug CSS and React problems, and just I cannot do this anymore. So it was a sign that I'm just not enjoying, not that I ever enjoyed it, but I just reached my limit and I'm ready for something new. So I did my backpacking trip, and by the end of it, I just remembered that, oh, I wanted to be a data scientist. So maybe I should look into that again. And my deal with myself was, unless I feel like super triggered by what I'm, but if I feel like I hate it, I'll stop. So I started studying and I looked into Tableau, and it seemed kind of interesting and in demand or whatever. So I was like, why not? Let's just start. And I spent a few months maybe studying it for an hour or two per day. And I think I studied the material for like the Tableau data analyst certification. So I studied like a lot, like let's say 40 hours of training. I went through 40 hours of training over like 4 months, let's say. And by the end of it, I was like, I could actually go for the certification exam right now. If I go for the certification exam, I'll probably pass. I did go for the certification exam. I studied, like, I crammed for like a few days and I got like 90% or 91 or 92, something like that. So I'm Tableau certified right now. But then I was like, all right, so now that I have the certification, it's time to like build a portfolio and start applying to jobs. And yeah, that's when the problem happened. I couldn't get through building one portfolio project. As soon as I started with data cleaning, I got straight up like PTSD flashbacks, and I was just like, nope, 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 nope. I don't know how bad it was. Honestly, I probably was just like obsessing, as in, not. Yeah, I was obsessing. I was not. I don't know what was going on. This turned into like a diary almost. But anyway, I got really frustrated with the data cleaning part when it came to being a data analyst, basically. And I read before that 80% of data science is data cleaning. And there I was, like day three, trying to like wrap my head around how to clean this data. And I'm sure if I stuck to it and if I kept doing data analytics for a while and networked and talked to other professionals in the industry, I would probably realize that I was overthinking it and I didn't need to obsess over every single bit of inconsistency, and I could probably like get away with cleaning just like most of it. But I was too triggered, man. I was like, this job is just software engineering in like a different domain. It's not exactly as full stack, because full stack software engineering, like you're dealing with everything from the user interface all the way down to like how to distribute the system and build microservices and RabbitMQ and just like all the I don't want to remember the stuff. So yeah, I just felt like, did I just change the flavor? Is that it? It's just like, it's kind of like you were drinking pop that was flavored and now it's more like flavored, you know? It's just the same thing. It's just a different flavor. And I was just so shocked, man. It's kind of like someone just like smacked me on the head and I was just stunned for like a few days. I'm just walking around. I'm like, what have I done, man? Did I just spend 4 months studying something that is like the same, pretty much the same thing? Is that why I was like comfortable with that decision? Because I feel like I'm making a change, but not really making a change. Anyway, so yeah, that was kind of the start of my insanity. And it's been maybe 2 months since me going insane. And since then, I've been basically changing my mind about how I want to spend not the rest of my life. I get it. Like when you choose a job or a career, it's not like a lifelong commitment. You're allowed to change. But also, from my experience, it takes a long time and a lot of effort. And if you have anything going on in your life, like let's say you decide to have a kid, that's not exactly a good time to change careers unless maybe you have hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up or you have a house that you've paid off, maybe. So I just feel like I'm in a position where it's a great time to get this done and maybe just pick something that I would enjoy for a while and something that maybe would set me up for the future to learn skills that could be applied in like different places or domains, because software engineering is software engineering. Like you do learn problem solving, you learn a little bit of like stakeholder management, barely any communication skills. Like my communication skills are just from like travel and meeting new people, so not from my career. But yeah, man, I don't know what to do. I thought about being a project manager, business analyst, sales engineer, and then I was like, fuck that. Let's be like, I want to become a writer. You know what? I want to become a YouTuber. This is what I was born for, man. I just like to talk about stuff. This is who I am. I don't want to like spend 6 hours a day just looking at code. I like to talk. So that's what I'm doing right now. And nobody's watching it, but that's fine because I made a promise to myself. And I promise I will improve the quality. This is a promise to me or any possible viewers that probably will not be there, but it's fine. So yeah, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out, and of course, like, just like add all the AI stuff to the equation. Like, bro, what's going on with AI? It's like one channel with like really smart people is like, bro, your coding job is not going to exist in 5 years. And another guy is like, bro, AI is like snake oil. This is just stuff to like get investors to like pump money into all these like multi-billion companies, multi-billion dollar companies. I'm kind of in between. I don't think coding jobs are going to be gone in 5 years, but I also don't think it's snake oil. I think it will change stuff. I mean, it can already do a lot of things, and I've explored like other domains like freelance writing. While freelance writing hasn't been murdered by AI, but the landscape has changed. Like there's like an entire genre of let's say of clients, usually the really lower end stuff that was usually the entry point. Like that was the gateway for a lot of people to become full-time writers, is that they started taking these like really low paying jobs, like $20 an article type jobs, to just sort of like build their credibility and reputation and experience and just get the ball rolling, you know? But all of these jobs now have seemingly disappeared. So if it's a lot harder for people to get into the freelance writing world now, then 5-10 years from now, what is that going to look like? Are people going to be able to get into that field? Or like, do you need to be a lot more trained and specialized to just sort of go straight into like writing professional articles with interviews and proper research and citing your sources and all that? Did the bar just like jump up like by 20 feet? I don't know, man. But I don't want to make this video too long. I'm not even going to edit it because I'm still trying to just like get into the habit. So until 2025 starts, I'm just going to keep these videos super low quality rants, just to get into the habit of filming every Sunday and uploading it. So this is just habit practice. Yeah. So, and just, yeah, getting more comfortable in front of the camera. I'm not editing this, man. Nobody's going to watch it anyway. So, thank you for watching. Drop by, leave a comment, and I'm going to make more interesting videos in the future, I promise. But anyway, peace.